Hi besties, what's up? My name is Mackenzie and welcome to my channel and welcome to the start of a very exciting vlog. So as you saw from the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be doing my Vampathon vlog. So Vampathon has already come and gone by the time I'm filming this intro. Unfortunately for me, my original intro was slightly corrupt and it was 20 minutes long. We don't need that. So here's what you can expect from this video. I hope the cozy vibes came across, but I'm not really 100% sure what kind of footage I got for this video yet, so we can always hope. But in this video, we're doing a bunch of comfort rereads. I mean, we're doing a ton. That's kind of what I needed during the week of Vampathon. I was kind of having a really bad mental health week, if I remember correctly, so we needed all of those comfort rereads. And I also found like possibly my favorite book of the year. So yeah, I'm just gonna let Mackenzie from the past take it away. Sorry, I forgot to give a huge thanks to Jody for hosting and creating this whole readathon. I'm a noob at this apparently, but if you don't know who Jody is, you have to be living under a rock. She creates some of the best content in the world over on her channel. I love it. Like peak cozy vibes. I love her videos, and her just whole personality and vibe give me such cozy, warm feelings. So I would highly recommend going and checking out her channel. I will obviously have all of her links down in the description below. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I'll see you later. Hello, besties. Yeah, this is definitely... Oh, okay, no, I just kicked your cursey, not you. Okay, good. I feel like this is... Oh, I think this is a little bit better. Can you see my messy living room behind me? Yes. Yes, you can. It is what it is. Okay. Also, I'm not in focus. Thank you. I am the main character, not the desk. Okay. Hi besties, what's up? It is a little bit later, and honestly I didn't get as much b-roll as I wanted to get because I was importing my footage thinking I'm not gonna use another SD card for this vlog. No, we have a new SD card, so as you can tell, was not strong in my conviction of that. But anyways, it doesn't matter. So I am here to give my first initial impressions of Cruel Illusions. Let me just get the dust jacket back on. I am on page 116, chapter 8 of this book, and I am really loving it so far. So I'm just gonna put it down. We'll all remember. Actually, maybe can I do that? Okay, we're gonna do that. So in this book, we follow our main character, Ava, and this is not a spoiler. At the beginning of the book, we find out that her parent, at least one of her parents, has been murdered by vampires. And so she has spent her whole life kind of searching for vampires and wanting to kind of like, I guess, take revenge. Her mom's life specifically is the one that we know for sure got killed by vampires. And one night she is kind of having a self-pity party for herself, and she decides to walk down the street and she finds this magical, like, this magic show, essentially. And she decides to walk in, spur of the moment, and go in and watch the illusionists perform their tricks. And after that, she doesn't think she'll go back, but the next night she's kind of having an equally bad night, and she decides, what the heck, I might as well go back. So she invites one of her friends, and they go back, and she sees firsthand what she thought were illusions were actually like real magic tricks, and she is not quite grasping what is going on. So she ends up talking to the person, and yeah, things kind of go from there. That's kind of all I'm going to say about the plot. But I did not actually come here to talk about the plot. Margie Bustin. I would be so shocked. Like, okay, this gives eldest daughter core vibes. Not just like eldest daughter in any family, although I'm sure any eldest daughter can like kind of like relate to this main character. I'm talking about like the oldest child, eldest daughter. That is me. I am one of 3, and I'm child 1 of 3, if that makes sense. So like I'm the first child. I know that you guys know what I mean. I don't know, I'm trying to over explain this, but this book gives eldest daughter core to the max. I think that if you were an eldest daughter and you read this, I think that you will feel so seen. Like, I feel like she has ripped a page out of my book, unliterally, by the way. I am writing books, but that has nothing to do with this. I feel like she has ripped a page out of my life, or like out of my previous life, and like stuck it in into this book, because what this main character is doing, so basically, this main character, of course, since her parents are dead, her and her little brother have been moving from foster home to foster home ever since she can remember. And she just like what she's doing for her brother in this book and the sacrifices she feels that she has to make is so Makenzie coded. I cannot even get over this. This book has almost made me cry on three separate occasions, and it is almost a bit ridiculous if I'm being honest. I cannot believe that I'm feeling so seen by what was supposed to be a silly goofy time. And yeah, it's making me a little emotional, so that's great. But yeah, I really love Ava as main character. I don't know, this is just like really hitting close to home for me for some reason. Now, granted, I will say both of my parents are alive. They're in a happy, healthy-ish relationship, as healthy as you can be in a relationship with somebody, at least to my knowledge, right? But, so I have never been in this position, but I can just see myself, if I ever, heaven forbid, had been in this position, I feel like this is exactly Makenzie core. Like, this is exactly how I would have reacted. So the fact that this author is kind of in my head right now is like wigging me out a little bit. I feel like this is like how a lot of people feel with Sally Rooney's books in particular. So like the fact that I'm getting this from like a silly romantic book is kind of like making me side-eye a little bit, but that's okay. Also, can I just say, I was gonna say this and then I was kind of hesitant to say it, but because of one of the blurbs on the front cover, I'm gonna say it. If you love Stephanie Garber's writing, you should pick this up. This is giving me Stephanie Garber vibes. And in fact, there is a blurb by Miss Stephanie Garber right there. I know it's not gonna... I put autofocus on, and it's still not auto-focusing, so that's cool. But, yeah. This is giving Stephanie Garber writing. And I don't know if this was her first novel that she ever wrote, but if this is a debut novel, that is pretty impressive. Actually, I'm gonna look and see. Anyway, like I said, I'm really loving this. Yeah, I'm really liking Ava. Okay, the trajectory the book is going right now is making me excited, but it's making me really sad. And I hope that, like, kind of the thing that is, like, I don't know. I'm hoping that something that just happened is going to be resolved by the end of the book, because, yeah, it hurts my heart to think that it might not be resolved. And if it's not, that's fine. That's obviously by design, but like, I don't know. It's just breaking my heart a little bit. I literally thought that that odd piece of hair was my bangs this whole time. No, it just caught behind my glasses, so that's cool. Anyways, I think that's all I have to talk to you guys about. I'm really glad I'm starting with this book. Hi besties, what's up? Okay, we are at a new angle. It is literally the next day, so I apologize. I was kind of cut off when I was laying on my floor doing that update, and then I just could not get my words to cooperate with me. But I do have some reading updates for you. So like I said, it is the next day. And last night before I went to bed, I actually finished my reread of Garlic and the Vampire by Brie Paulson. I'm sorry, I think I was saying that their last name was Paulson. It's Paulson, I believe. So I apologize to them. Not that they're gonna see this, but you know. And it, oh my gosh, it felt like as much of a warm hug, and like, it just made me so happy. So I'm really ecstatic and excited to like say that. I rated it 5 stars again. I'm, like I said, very happy about that. So we did that. And then also I have listened to a little bit of Cruel Illusions today. Not much. I'm still like, I'm not a ton of the way further, but I'm a little bit past chapter 11 at the beginning. I don't exactly know where I am, and I'm not going to find it, but for all intents and purposes, I am on page 164 and I'm still really liking it. There was a very like shattering moment that I listened to. I had to go to the post office and drop off a Pango Books order, or sorry, Mercari order. I saw on both of those, but I had to go and do that, and I was literally like, ugh, my heart is literally being ripped out of my chest right now. So we are doing that. Yeah, I'm still really liking this. I'm very intrigued to see where we're gonna go with this. I just don't know the trajectory that this book is going to take, because we're about to start the trials, I believe, and I'm very excited for that. They've already had their first like trial, I guess you could say, and obviously Ava passed it. But I'm very intrigued to see, like, honestly, who in the heck is her love interest, because I think there's one person that it's like heavily implying to, but I know that's not the love interest. I have a very strong suspicion that that's not who she's going to end up with. Then we have the second person, which I'm rooting for. I'm not going to say names because I feel like that's spoilery, but the second person that I'm really crossing my fingers that it's them. That's who I want. And then there's a third one that like I really hope is not it. Like if we are tier ranking the love interest, I would go 2. I'd go the second person that I talked about, the first person I talked about, and then the third. But the third is like literally after pretty much almost every single character in the whole book. So yeah, as you can imagine, I don't want her to end up with that third person. I don't think she will because the third person hasn't hardly even been mentioned. But yeah, my camera is literally dead now, so I'm gonna go get ready for work and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Hi besties. What's up? Long time no chat, so I apologize for that, and I apologize if I'm talking a little bit more quiet. As you can see, it is nighttime. My husband went on a fire call, so hopefully everything is okay with that. I guess a page-in. No, nobody's house is on fire. There's no fires that he's going on call for, but he's sitting at the fire station because they just went on a call. Anyways, that's besides the point. So it's nighttime. He's gone right now for a little bit, and Oakley is asleep. So we're gonna try to do this. Not be surprised if she woke back up. Also, I'm sorry. I'm always out of focus. I don't know why my camera does not realize I'm the main character of this channel, but I digress. Anyways, so it is November 1st, and I know what you're thinking, Makenzie, you are obviously here to round out the vlog right now. We all knew that this was coming. I had one or two less days to read than I normally do, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit of grace here, and I'm going to allow myself to read the rest of the night to tomorrow night. So I'm gonna give myself like an extra 24 hours essentially. It is currently 10:17. Perfect. Yeah, so I'm gonna give myself about an extra 24 hours, and we're gonna see how much I can read. So here's what my bingo board is looking at right now. Makenzie, I'm threatening you right now. You're putting up the bingo board and you're leaving this part in, and now you're moving because the heater is on. So anyways, now that I have threatened myself, here's what the bingo board looks like. I'll kind of walk you through it anyways, but the first prompt that you see, the No Exit is covering, is a book that you can sink your teeth into. Obviously, I chose No Exit for that. That's like a mystery thriller. I feel like it borders on horror, so like be wary of that, I guess. But obviously there's that. And then you go a couple headstones down, and I believe that one is one with a spooky or gothic cover. Obviously, No Exit has like a very unsettling cover. At least the graphic I chose to use for the cover, so I feel like that's perfect. Next, we have Bats or Blood on the cover, and for that I chose Garlic and the Vampire because if you look very closely, there is a bat on the cover. I love that. I don't think I've told you guys that I finished reading that and Garlic and the Witch, but I think I'll just kind of go over that at the end of the vlog. I don't think I need to really hash out all my feelings right now, where I'm literally going to end this tomorrow and do a full rounded wrap up. So that's everything on the first and second row. And then we go to the third row, and we have Book with Witches. Obviously, I chose Garlic and the Witch. Now, Garlic and the Vampire does have witches in it, but I felt like, I mean, come on, witch is literally in the title. I felt like that was perfect. And then right next to it, spooky graphic novel or manga. Is Garlic and the Witch technically that spooky? No. So I'm thinking that I might get rid of that and maybe read not Demon Slayer, Blue Exorcist Volume 2. I think I might do that, so TBD on that one, but I am gonna keep that right there for now, and we can always rearrange it. I just couldn't find something else that fit into. So also, I can see that there's a thriller or a mystery book headstone. I don't think I can count No Exit as 3 things, or else I would. So yeah, we're just gonna leave that blank. If you go down to the fourth row, obviously Book with a vampire main character. I feel like Garlic and the Vampire counts because we're going to find this vampire. I feel like that counts. Is that maybe possibly stretching? Yes, I don't care. So as you can see, I've hit a bingo. We're doing great. However, I really want to finish Cruel Illusions before this vlog ends. I will be totally candid and transparent with you guys. Like I said earlier, I just have not been able to allot the time to reading that I would normally have, and unfortunately next week is no different because I am working Monday, which is so great. I just realized too I was going to post my November TBR this week, specifically tomorrow, and I have not finished editing it or uploading it, so yeah, that's not great. Anyways, that's besides the point. So Cruel Illusions, I have 3 hours and 54 minutes left of it. So I was thinking that maybe I could read that. I want to finish that and give you guys my final thoughts because I'm really liking it so far. I just, like I said, haven't allotted the time to reading that I normally do, or like, I haven't had the time to that I normally do. So I'd really like to get that out of the way, if that makes sense. So we're going to work on that. I can tell you exactly how far through I am, like percentage wise, I guess. In case you guys are curious, I am 33%, so I'm exactly a third of the way through. So I feel like it is my due diligence to finish that book in this vlog. The other thing I want to run by you guys is I think that there are a couple spots that would be very, very easy to fill if I just did some sneaky reading, which is why I'm giving myself an extra 24 hours, okay? So first thing I think I could click off or get rid of is a paranormal romance. I just realized that I took all my books in the living room so that I could show you guys what I'm planning on maybe trying to get to. Yeah, let me go get those and we can kind of go over it. All right, so the first square I think that I can like easily, or headstone I guess, I can easily complete is paranormal romance. I'm going to do that with fangs. So I feel like that's pretty simple, and honestly I don't know, because fangs isn't really spooky either, so like I would really have to read Blue Exorcist for that, but I don't know. So I could count that as that, and I feel like that's all I could really use this for, so that's what that would be for. I don't think this has a gothic setting, doesn't it? Nah, there's couches. There's couches and restaurants. I don't think so. Anyways, so yeah. I think we're gonna do that for that. So then we're gonna skip book with a gothic setting, because I don't know. I know for a fact Cruel Illusions doesn't have that, but the next book I'm going to talk about, I don't know if it does. We're going to see. And then, I don't know, because if I move no exit, gothic or spooky cover, I feel like, I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll figure it out. If I have to move these around and show you my completed bingo board, I will. But just give me some grace here. Obviously, I just showed you what it looks like right now, but I am probably going to move stuff around. Then we have a book with a haunted library. I don't think we're going to hit that. I know for a fact this doesn't have a haunted library, so I guess unless I can find like a spooky manga with like a haunted library or whatever, it's not going to happen. Then we have a spooky middle grade. I'm not going to read a spooky middle grade. I don't have one of those, so I'm going to do that. Vampire book to movie. The one thing I am considering doing, however, is I don't want to, because I said I wasn't going to, but picture this. Picture this. I get on Amazon tonight. I go to New Moon graphic novel and I purchase it. I guess we could see how much it is. Let's just take a look on Amazon and see how much it is. Because if it's too much, like, I'm not going to buy it. Because I said I wasn't going to read New Moon. Because it's not that I don't like the art style, but I have such a vivid imagination of what all the characters look like. And it's just not, you know, it's not that. So, oh my heck, now someone's selling the graphic novel collector's edition for $415. That is absolutely asinine, if that's the right word. So here's the deal. I have actually decided that I might do that. Do I have any Kindle points? I don't think I do. I don't. It's $10. Do I want to buy it for $10? I think I will. Okay, I think I'm going to. So I'm going to get New Moon, a graphic novel, volume 1, and that will count for that. And I think that's also going to count for Read a Book in the Dark, because I think I will read it either on my phone or on my Kindle. I don't think it's colored, so I think I could probably read it on my Kindle. We'll see. So I'm just gonna, yep, okay. That is purchased, so we are going to read that tonight. I wasn't going to do that, but I guess here we are. Next, let's talk about this one, a horror book. So here's what I'm thinking. This audiobook is literally only like 8 hours, and if I listen to it at 3 times speed, that is a little over 3 hours. That's saying I can listen to it at 3 times speed. I don't know if I can, but I don't know. This is a shorty. This is a shorty McShortyson. Shorty McShortyson. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm Delulu. Delulu hours are upon us today, but I think this would be, let me just see the word I think I did. That is a really weird word to just, that was a really weird word that caught my attention. In case you were wondering, the word that caught my attention was sex, but now I cannot find it anywhere, so that is very, I need to stop reading. What am I doing? So, horror book. I feel like I could read this, but if I start this, I literally need to finish it in this vlog, so that's a maybe. That's a maybe. So, there's that. Next we have a thriller or a mystery book. if I move No Exit from Gothic or Spooky cover, maybe I could, you know what, could I use this as a Gothic or Spooky cover and then move No Exit to Thriller? I think that's what I'm actually going to do. So that's what I'm going to do. Thriller or Mystery Book. I'm going to move No Exit down to there. And I'm going to use this as a Spooky or Gothic cover because this gives me Gothic vibes. Does it not? I think I'm right. So we're going to do that. Then Read a Book in the Dark. I'm also going to use the New Moon graphic novel for that. Blood Used as Magic is perfect for Cruel Illusions, so I'm going to try to finish that. And then Dark Academia setting. Unless this has a Dark Academia setting, I know that Cruel Illusions doesn't, and I know that this doesn't. And I don't think you can consider Twilight as Dark Academia, so I don't think I'm going to finish that. But it seems like I am on a trajectory to finish all the other props for the most part, so we're gonna get cracking with that. Steven just got home, so I will try to see if I can talk to you guys later tomorrow, if I can get a second to myself. And yeah, with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys in a little while. Hi besties, what's up? So it is actually Monday, a few days later at least from last I talked to you, and I apologize for that. I wasn't expecting to kind of drag this video out this long, but it is what it is. It happened, but I am here to wrap it up. Now, I will be completely honest, I did go till the end of Saturday, which I think was the 2nd. It wasn't my intention to do that. However, there was at least 2 things that I wanted to finish before the end of the day for this vlog, and I did end up doing that. So I wanted to come on here and kind of wrap up and give my final thoughts on all the books I read. And yeah, I also wanted to say like a huge thank you to Jody. Obviously, like I can't even imagine how time consuming and like not draining necessarily, but like just it must be a lot to host a readathon, so I wanted to say thank you to her. Vampathon is always so fun, and I really like participating in it, so thank you to her. And thank you to all the co-hosts who did this with her. I'm excited to watch everybody's vlogs. At this point of me filming this, I don't believe anybody has posted their Vampathon vlogs, so I'm excited to watch those eventually. But so first, let's talk about Garlic and the Vampire and Garlic and the Witch. I don't think I gave you like my final thoughts. Obviously they're rereads, and like I'm not rereading things that I don't love. Basically, I wanted to kind of give you guys a pitch and like talk about my feelings, because I feel a lot differently, I feel like, now than I did last year when I read them. So first, Garlic and the Vampire follows all these little like sentient vegetables basically, and they all participate. I don't know how often it is, but they all participate in this little farmer's market, if you will. They all actually farm vegetables, and they all actually like grow and harvest like garlic. Farms and harvests garlic. There's a carrot that, you know, harvests carrots. You guys get what I'm saying, right? So they do that, and one day on the way home from this, one of the vegetables sees that the castle off in the distance that's been vacant for years and years has smoke coming out of the chimney. And so it's a potato. It's a potato. So the potato kind of just like glances the other way. He's like, maybe it's nothing to be worried about. So the next day when they see the smoke rising off in the distance again, they go to the witch that they live with, and they basically say, hey, listen, like, who used to live in that castle? Like, there's smoke coming from the chimney, whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, a vampire used to live there. And then all of them obviously start spiraling literally out of control. What if they're here to kill us? What if they're here to kill the whole town? What if there's minions that are plotting the damnation of the whole town? You know, that stuff. So everybody decides that because this is obviously very worrisome, they're going to send the only one that vampires cannot hurt, Garlic. So Garlic goes up on an adventure to this castle and meets the vampire and realizes that maybe vampires aren't as scary as she originally anticipated. And obviously I loved it. It was 5 stars. It was so good. I think like, obviously I'm sure the anxiety rep hit me hard last time too, but like just Garlic is so neat. I'm so garlic coated, thought I'd say that, but like it's true. I really relate to her character. And then in Garlic and the Witch, which is the second, Garlic wakes up and basically things are changing around her, and it is making her very, very scared. She ends up embarking on this adventure with Vampire to go to this magical farmer's market. Has all the magical herbs that the witch needs to like brew her potions and stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm talking with my hands and you guys are sitting on my table, so I'm hitting my table, I'm sorry. Anyways, and she realizes during this that even though big changes are coming, maybe they're not as bad as she anticipated that they'd be. And it's It's so cute. And what I was really surprised by is I remember how much I loved the first one, but I don't think I really remembered how much I loved the second one until I read it. And I was like, oh, this has to be 5 stars. Like, I hope I rated it 5 stars. Fully anticipating that I had rated it 4 stars at some point, but no. All is right in the world. It's 5 stars. It's always been 5 stars. So I'm very, like, I'm very happy with that. I hope Bree comes out with some more stuff in that series. I'm like praying. I think it'd be a little bit difficult with how the second one ended, right, more, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that is my 2025 wish. She will post, she'll, you know, put some more garlic graphic novels out in the universe, but I guess we'll see. So like I said, I really love those. Like, those are comfort reads for sure, so I'm very happy with that. I think, was it Friday night that I talked to you guys? I'm sorry, I don't fully quite remember when I talked to you. That night, I actually went and found another comfort read. Thanks, by Sarah Anderson. So, if you don't know, this book follows Elsie and Jimmy, and Elsie's a vampire, Jimmy's a werewolf. It follows their love story. If you aren't really like familiar with this, I guess you could say, it just follows like panels of their love life. So like every page is basically a new panel regarding their relationship, and I absolutely love it. This was also like a realization. I did not realize that I'd read this like 4 times. This is my 4th time. So I rated it up from 4 stars to 5 stars. Like I said, I really love this. The panels are funny. I love Elsie. She's so hilarious. I love Jimmy, obviously. I really love Elsie, and like the artwork in this is so good. I'm trying to find, hopefully that's, look at that. Is that not stunning? Like, oh my gosh. So pretty. And then there is another one that every time I see it, I'm like, I want to tattoo that on my body, just like that one. I really love that one. Ooh, I should show you guys this one. I know, I'm pretty sure I show all the same panels every single time, but I feel like they're a little bit less like spoilery. That one's super cute too. Maybe is it on the end of the book? I don't really think you can spoil this book, so there's this one. I feel like you can read Fangs for free somewhere. I didn't realize that when I bought it, but actually, no. You can read Fangs for free. I will try to figure out where it's from. I think it's from Tapas. I'm pretty sure that's the first place I read it, and obviously I loved it enough to buy it. Maybe those are all the big panels. I thought that there was one more that I really love that like I said, I love to show off, but I think those might be the only ones that I'm thinking of. Me flipping through it. I should just reread it right now as we speak. But was that it? I could have sworn there was another one, but I'm pretty sure I'm just literally delusional. So yeah, but I love this so much. I think it is so cute, so wholesome. Like, it is just the best thing ever. So obviously I rated it up. Next thing was a complete surprise that I actually really liked it. But as you guys know, the day that I talked to you, I basically told you how I was going to buy and read the New Moon manga version, and I did end up doing that. In fact, Oakley ended up waking me up at 5:30 in the morning to eat, so I actually laid her in bed in between my husband and I held the bottle in one hand, my phone in the other, and I read it. And it was completely pitch black outside and in my bedroom, and the biggest flop of it all was I had like 3 or 4 pages left, and I was so tired that I went back to bed. And I ended up having to finish it during the day, but I'm gonna count it. This is just like a public service announcement, like illustrator of the mangas. Please, please, please at least finish New Moon. You don't need to do Eclipse if you don't want to. Don't need to do Breaking Dawn if you don't want to. Personally, I think that'd be a travesty. I think New Moon really needs to be done, but what do I know? But yeah, personally, I think they need to finish New Moon out, because I was not anticipating the amount of distress and sadness that I would feel after reading that one, knowing that there weren't any more. So I do wish I kind of would have stopped after reading the first Twilight manga, but it is what it is. So I did really like it, and I was finally starting to get a hang of like the characters and the person's art style, because obviously they look a lot different in the movie than in the manga. So I don't know if it was one of those things where the manga was like done before the movie, and so after the movie came out, a bunch of manga readers came, or a bunch of readers that weren't manga readers but loved Twilight came. They were like, this isn't what the characters look like, and they freaked out. I would not be surprised if that happened. So you know how it goes. But I am really bummed, and if the person ever sees this, please, please, please at least finish out New Moon, because I'm pretty sure that it's like New Moon, Breaking Dawn, Twilight, Eclipse for me. I know that's probably unpopular, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, so many feelings. Anyways, I was also very surprised, and I'm sure it's different in the books too, but I was so surprised at like little subtle differences that were in the manga as opposed to the movie, because I've never read the books before. So that was like a pleasant surprise. I had a lot of fun doing that. So, and then what you've all been waiting for. Makenzie, did you finish the 500-page book that you started at the beginning of this? Actually, let me see how much it is. Oh, no, it's basically 500 pages. Like 503 pages. Oh, actually. Yep, it's 500 exactly. Did I finish it? I did, and it is so good. I cannot believe that I saw so many people unhauling this after they got it in, I think it was a fairy loot box. Like, oh my gosh, no, you guys are all making a huge mistake. So let me try to kind of like explain it better than I did at the beginning of the vlog. So basically we follow our main character Ava, and Ava and her brother Parker, I believe is his name, have had a very rough life. They have been bouncing around from foster home to foster home for as long as Ava can remember, and they have finally landed in a home that, although Ava isn't fully convinced that it's her forever home, she is pretty convinced that her little brother Parker has found his forever home. And she kind of deals with a lot of self-doubt throughout this book, and one night when she's having a particularly terrible night, she decides to go on a walk, and she finds this flyer to this magic show, and she just wants to feel alive again. She grew up around magic, and she hasn't seen it in a long time besides the little party tricks she does for her brother. And she goes to this show, and she is immediately entranced. And she kind of gets pulled into this world of magicians and vampires that she was privy to but didn't know the full extent, and it is so good. If you are the oldest daughter of any family, like specifically I would say the oldest child plus you're the oldest daughter, I feel like this book like would really hit home. But I think if you are just the eldest daughter of any family, I think you should read this. There were times in this book, even though I have not gone through, like obviously I haven't gone through anything that Ava has gone through in this book, thank goodness, right? But I was like, oh my gosh, this would be me in this situation. And how people feel when they read Sally Rooney's books and they're like, oh my gosh, how did she pull that out of my brain exactly how I would do that? How did she do that? That is how I feel about this book, and I will now read anything and everything that Margie Fuston writes in the future. I'm very excited. I feel like I found like a new all-time favorite author, which like I was expecting to love this book, obviously. Like I don't know, I wasn't expecting to love it this much. And like I finished this and I felt so just empty inside, not like in a bad way, but like laid there in my bed and I'm like, 5 stars isn't good enough, 6 stars isn't good enough. I think this is my favorite book of the year. No, scratch that. This is my favorite book of the year. I have found my favorite read of 2024 so far in this video. And like, I know that in my Goodreads review it doesn't say 6 stars if I could, because 6 stars doesn't even begin to cover the way this book made me feel. So I really loved it. There's enemies to lovers, there's obviously vampires, there's magicians, there's magic, there's trials. And I actually really loved the trials in this book. I felt like they were super good, super unique, super great. And there is something that I don't know if I said it earlier in this vlog, I'm sure I have, but if you like Stephanie Garber's prose, there's a reason that there is a blurb from Miss Queen Stephanie Garber right there. I know you cannot see that, but you're gonna have to take my word for it. There's a reason that she blurbed this book. Like it is so good. It is so phenomenal, and I just cannot believe that I cannot believe I put off this book this long. And yeah, I'm so glad that I have it, because there was one point, I don't know, there was one point this year that I was looking at it and I was like, I haven't felt pulled to read this book, and it was really bugging because I bought it last year for my birthday, if not 2 years ago, and I was like, dang, like I haven't felt pulled to that ever since I got it. Like that's so sad. And I was actually gonna unhaul it at the end of this year, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that I absolutely ended up loving this, and yeah, I'm so happy about it. I haven't read a ton of books with trials in them, so I feel like I need to say that, but I feel like these trials were super unique to the book. I feel like I haven't read any trials like this before. I guess the only books I've really read with like trials and stuff are like Hunger Games. I read Serpent in the Wings of Night. Did I already say Hunger Games? I think I did. I think Carval kind of has that kind of like trials. I feel like there are other books, obviously. There was one that I read that I was like, dang, this is like kind of a ripoff of Hunger Games, and I don't remember what it was. So I guess I'll have to think on that. I've read very few trial books because I feel like they just aren't my thing. After the past 2 that I've read, I'm like, dang, like is this just not for me, but it is. So I love this book. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. That is ridiculous. I don't think I've ever loved a book this much, actually. Is this my favorite book of all time? I think it is. I think it is. I think it knocked Queen of Shadows and Muse of Nightmares off of their pedestals and took over. So yeah, I'm so happy I read this. I'm so happy, like, not that I gave it the time of day, because obviously I was always planning to read it, but like, I just cannot believe that this has been sitting with me for at least a year and a half, and I just barely picked it up now. I loved this book so much, so I'm very happy I got to read it. I found a camera battery that thinks it's fully charged, so we'll see how true that rings, but we're gonna hurry and get this over with. So I'm going to put the graphic right here with all the books and what prompts they fulfilled. I'm sorry, I literally do not have my phone on me right now, but I think I hit a couple bingos if I'm not mistaken. I think at least the top row, and then there's like a diagonal one across. I think I hit all of those prompts. Unfortunately, I was not able to hit a blackout, which is kind of what I was hoping for. As you can see, I rearranged some of the books that I had previously, oh my gosh, no, I read No Exit in this vlog too. Hello. Okay, I'm literally out of focus. So sorry about that. If that ever happens, it's because I'm literally not paying attention. I forgot I read No Exit too. I just totally spaced it. So I also read No Exit by Taylor Adams. As you guys know, I really liked that. I'm not going to rehash the whole synopsis for that book because I don't want to. I already had one camera battery die on me. I don't need this one to die on me too. So I think I rated that one 4 stars. I did like it. Like I said, please look up trigger warnings. Do know that like it is very intense. It is very graphic. It will make your stomach turn. So with all that being said, let's just get into the graphic and stuff like that. So as you'll see, I rearranged some stuff. I feel like I put No Exit somewhere different than it was originally, so I apologize if that bothers you. It is what it is. As you guys can see, I believe I got the complete top row filled out, and then I believe there's a diagonal from like the top left corner down to the bottom right, and I believe I filled that one out as well. I was really hoping that with like, I mean, to be fair, since the last time we spoke, I read, what, 4 books, I think? So I was really hoping that all those books would equivalate. That is definitely not a word, but I really hoped that all of those would do a blackout for the bingo card. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I feared that I did not have the time that I thought I was going to have this weekend. I thought that I was going to be able to get some good little montage bits, but unfortunately Steven did. I mean, fortunately for me, but like unfortunately for you guys, I guess, Steven did not have to work on Saturday like he was originally supposed to. Like I said, unfortunate for you guys because I didn't get as much filming in as I wanted to, but fortunate for me because I miss him. So I miss him all the time. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry that I am literally the biggest blabbermouth on planet Earth. I don't know. I just like to hear myself talk, as you can probably imagine. And I know I already said this. Thank you again to Jody for creating this. I love it. It is so fun every single year. You're definitely going to see me back here next year. I'm like knocking on all the wood. And next year I will have all my Vampathon merch found. I did end up finding it while we were doing laundry. It is promptly lost again because I need to put away all my clothes. But anyways, doesn't matter. Thank you to all the co-hosts. I'm excited to watch all of your vlogs. And heard me. He heard me. If I let him pee, he's gonna wake up the baby. I don't know. I'm sure Steven isn't too far out, so I'm gonna just leave him out there. I love him. I do love him, but he's gonna wake up my baby, and I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. So if you've made it this far into the video and you want to leave some emojis to let me know that you were here until this point, you can leave a magic wand or like a magic hat or maybe even a rabbit. That would work. And definitely leave a vampire. I think there's a vampire emoji. Definitely leave one of those for Vampathon. And again, big thank you to Jody. And yeah, with all that being said, if you like me, if you like my face, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to see it again, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified every time I post a new video, honestly, I'd follow me on Instagram. That is where you are going to get all the notifications of when I post. But if you don't have Instagram, cross your fingers and hope that the YouTube notification bell works. And with all that being said, I will talk to you all in a video very, very soon. Okay, bye everyone. When you're not here, the sun don't shine. When you're not near, I don't feel like I do when you're